You know those days, right? Where you're just constantly racing against the clock, bouncing from one task to another, and your to-do list just seems to get longer and longer. But then, at the end of the day, you look back and what did you actually get done? If that feels a little too familiar, you're going to want to stick around, because we are about to dive into exactly why that happens, and a totally counterintuitive way to fix it for good.
Yeah. If you're nodding your head right now, trust me, you are not alone. This feeling isn't some kind of personal failure. It's actually a system failure. The way we've all been taught to think about productivity, it's just, well, it's fundamentally broken.
So let's start with a really bold idea. What if everything you've ever been told about getting things done, all that hustle harder, work faster stuff, is completely and totally wrong? The secret we're going to unpack today feels, honestly, a little backwards at first. But as you'll see, it might just be the key to everything.
Okay, first things first, we need to understand the real enemy here. So let's take a closer look at why this whole idea of hustle culture is probably the biggest thing standing between you and the goals you actually want to achieve.
This really just gets straight to the point. We've all been conditioned to believe that going faster is better, that the only way to succeed is to squeeze every single second out of the day. But here's the question. What if all that constant rushing is the very thing making you less effective? I mean, think about it like this. You wouldn't expect to get a six-pack by doing 100 squats in 5 seconds, would you? No way! You'd just end up hurting yourself. Well, it's the exact same idea with your work. The promise of hustle is that you'll do more faster. But the reality? It's just a downward spiral of stress, mistakes, misery, and, you guessed it, burnout.
So if rushing is the problem, then what in the world is the solution? This is where it gets interesting and a little weird. It sounds like a total paradox, but the real secret is to slow down. Let's dig into how deliberately moving slower can actually help you achieve more.
This right here is our new goal, slow productivity. And no, this is not about being lazy, not at all. It's about being deliberate. See, when you slow down, you give your brain the actual space it needs to be intentional, to think things through, and to catch those little mistakes before they become big problems. This really shows you the core difference, doesn't it? Rushing is just this chaotic, reactive state. It's unintentional, it's stressful, and it makes you feel like you're spiraling out of control. But slowing down? That's a choice. It's intentional. It gives you clarity. And most importantly, it puts you right back in the driver's seat. Okay, so this slow productivity idea sounds pretty good, right? But how do we actually put it into practice? Well, it all starts with building the right foundation. And that comes down to 3 key things: your goals, your plans, and your buffers. First up, we've got to ditch vague, useless goals. Just saying you're going to work on your project is like saying you want fried chicken, but having no idea where the nearest chicken shop is. You're just going to wander around aimlessly. But a specific goal, like I will write 500 words for my essay before noon, well, that gives you a clear target and a timeline. And once you have that specific goal, the path to get there suddenly becomes so much clearer. You can break it down into smaller, bite-sized actions. For an essay, that could be outlining, then drafting, then revising. Each little thing you check off feels like a small win, which keeps you motivated and lets you see your progress in real time. Now here's a simple idea that is an absolute game changer, and it's wild how few people actually do it. You need to plan for things to go wrong, and you do that by creating something called a contingency buffer. Let's take studying for an exam. The old way is to cram everything in the night before, right? The slow productivity way is to aim to be completely done studying 2 weeks early. That 2-week buffer is your safety net. If life throws you a curveball, no problem. You're still on track. And if everything goes perfectly, great. You get 2 stress-free weeks for extra review. It's a total win-win. Okay, so you have a solid plan. You've got your buffer. But what happens when you sit down to work and your brain just freezes? You know that feeling? You just stare at the screen and nothing comes out? Let's talk about how to beat that task paralysis and deal with the constant wave of distractions. So next time you feel stuck, try one of these simple tricks. First, just change your space. Your brain gets bored, so moving to a coffee shop or even just a different room can totally reset it. Second, try body doubling. Just having someone else working nearby, even if it's just a study with me video on YouTube, creates this weird, powerful sense of accountability. And third, use rewards. Seriously, your brain loves positive reinforcement. All right, now let's talk about distractions, like that phone of yours. Here's the key. Stop trying to fight a constant battle of willpower. It's exhausting and you'll eventually lose. The much smarter way is to manage your environment so that battle never even has to happen.
The whole goal here is to lighten your mental load. Let your tools do the heavy lifting for you. Delegate your memory to a to-do list app. Delegate your self-control to your phone's automatic focus modes. Delegate all that tedious editing to software. When you do this, you free up your precious brain power for the stuff that actually matters.
Okay, we have covered a lot of ground. So let's pull all of these pieces together into one simple, cohesive system that you can start using, like today, for some real lasting change.
Please, do not underestimate the power of being consistent. One frantic, 15-hour cram session is super inefficient, but just 30 focus minutes a day, that is how you build real unstoppable momentum. It's that snowball effect, creating sustainable progress day after day.
So here it is, your new toolkit. This isn't about hustle, it's about being intentional. Slow down. Start early. Break things down into tiny steps. Be consistent, and use these simple tricks and tools to keep yourself moving forward. This is the real foundation of working smarter, not harder.
You know, ultimately, this is what it all boils down to. We get so obsessed with managing our time, but the real resource we need to protect is our attention. It is finite. True productivity is all about directing that precious attention to the right things with focus and with clarity, not just burning yourself out for more hours.
So I want to leave you with this question. Forget trying to change your entire life overnight. That's not going to work. Instead, just pick one thing. What is the one task or project this week that you're going to approach with intention, with a plan, and without the rush? That, right there, is where real change begins.